Nice that you watch Cultural Impact of Taylor Swift Part 3. Don't forget to subscribe. Swift, one of the most followed people on social network services, is a social media powerhouse. According to Entrepreneur, she was the most followed person on Instagram from September 2015 to March 2016, and has consistently been influential on Twitter, placing first in Brandwatch's annual rankings 3 times. The Washington Post additionally noted, Swift is one of few foreign celebrities who have gained more than 10 million followers on Weibo. China's answer to Twitter. Ticketing executive Nathan Hubbard said that Swift was the first musician to be natively online. Culture critic Brittany Spanos opined that Swift's social media presence is one of the reasons she is still really relevant after years. Swift grew her fan base on MySpace. She was using Tumblr way past its prime. Twitter. She's now on TikTok, commenting on people's videos. Swift's marketing is a combination of social media engagement and television. Cizan called Swift a master of product launch, with knowledge of a strategic and well-balanced communications campaign, according to public relations academic Sinead Norenius-Raniere. Swift's integrated marketing strategy consists of timed announcements across marketing channels, harnessing the potential of both traditional and digital media. Authentic and intimate communications with consumers to build trust, and usage of multimedia to offer sneak peeks. Billboard attributed Swift's enduring relevance, in part to how she understands her audience, and employs campaigns that don't neatly fit industry narratives. Her novel promotional efforts, such as Midnight's Mayhem with Me, were a subject of critical praise for innovation. Bond Benton, an associate professor in communication and media at Montclair State University, said, "There is a mimetic quality to the way Swift is presented online, which has since been repurposed by other celebrities to increase their engagement." Swift is known for her traditional, conceptual album rollouts, often referred to as eras, each of which consists of a variety of promotional activities. Rolling Stone described her eras as an inescapable, multimedia bonanza. She is credited with making the 2-year album cycle approach of releasing and promoting albums the industry standard, and helped popularize the term and concept of eras in broader media contexts. Nevertheless, journalists also praised Swift's fast succeeding release of Evermore less than 5 months after Folklore. Variety compared it to similar moves by the Beatles and U2, while Rolling Stone found it reminiscent of Prince in 1987 and David Bowie in 1977. Easter eggs and cryptic teasers similar to Swift's became a common practice in pop music. Publications describe her discography as a music universe, subject to analyses by fans, critics, and journalists. Swift's outfits, accessories, diction, color coding, numerology, and elaborate album packaging have also been Easter eggs. El País critic Iker Size-Dodos called her a master of the art of suspense. According to journalist Ashley Lutz, her marketing style is an ever-changing burlesque act of selectively revealing details while maintaining an aura of mystery and excitement, a strategy that goes beyond the music and entertainment industries. Vulture noted, "It's probably impossible to build a successful pop career these days without borrowing from the Taylor Swift toolkit. The Easter eggs, the signature color, the rabid fans." Each of Swift's eras is characterized by a unique aesthetic, color palette, fashion style, and an associated mood or emotion. The Conversation described her album releases as cultural moments. Reinventing her image and style throughout her career, Swift has popularized several aesthetic trends. such as Polaroid motifs with 1989, and cottagecore with Folklore and Evermore. Lutz opined that the era shifts helped broaden her fan base and critical appeal. Pop culture commentator Jitendra Sadev asserted Swift has managed to remain interesting by constantly reinventing herself, while remaining authentic. However, in a counterview, Fairclough claimed that Swift's shifting aesthetic indicates her struggle with a lack of identity. Swift embraces corporate sponsors. Her marketing incorporates strategic business partnerships with companies, which were once regarded as a taboo among musicians. Marketing expert Christopher Ming wrote, "Sure, working with brands like Apple Music, Elizabeth Arden, and Diet Coke feel like no-brainers. But it takes a certain amount of marketing ingenuity to make campaigns with football, United Postal Service and Papa John's work. Yet they all did." Swift promoted Red, Taylor's version, and 1989, Taylor's version, using Starbucks and Google search, respectively. Journalists stated that the impact of her album releases is felt across social media, with brands and companies often endorsing her to capitalize on her momentum. Leveraging her cultural relevance. The economic impact of Swift's career has been termed as Swiftonomics. Aberdeen's Brett Wilhite considers Swiftonomics a branch of economics that deals with the intersection of consumer emotions and capitalism. Economists and industry academics have studied Swift's macroeconomic influence on businesses worldwide, comparing her to countries. According to trade publication Polestar, if Swift were a country, she would be the 199th largest economy on Earth, analogous to a small Caribbean nation. Katie Atkinson of Billboard equated Swift's 2023 earnings to the gross domestic product of East Timor. Question Pro estimated her 2023 economy at $5 billion, higher than the GDP of 50 countries. According to critic Kitty Empire, Swift is a geopolitical and macroeconomic disruptor. She has also had a microeconomic impact, benefiting various small businesses. MarketWatch termed Swift's influence on markets as the Taylor Swift stock market effect. Swift's tours are channels of economic enrichment. According to author Peggy Noonan, Swift altered the rules of entertainment economics. Analyses of her economic impact include studying the booming economy around her concert tours, which escalates travel, lodging, cosmetic, fashion, and food businesses, and tourism revenues of cities by millions of dollars. Vogue Business dubbed Swift a global socio-economic phenomenon. Swift has been instrumental in reforming the business aspects of music. Often considered a flag bearer for artists' rights, journalists praise her ability to question industry practices, noting how her moves changed streaming platform policies, prompted awareness of intellectual property among upcoming musicians, reshaped the concert ticket model, and negotiated better financial compensations from labels for all music artists. Elle described the Swift-enabled reforms to streaming services as a milestone moment in the history of music. Swift contested music streaming services to regulate corporate policies for better preservation of artistic integrity. She said digital streaming services have become a dominant form of media consumption since 2013, causing a gradual decline in traditional album sales. In November 2014, Swift announced that 1989, her then upcoming album, would not be released on Spotify, which was growing in popularity at the time, in protest of the platform's minuscule payment to artists. In an op-ed for the Wall Street Journal, she expressed her belief that the value of works of art should be fixed by artists. Music is art, and art is important and rare. Important. Rare things are valuable. Valuable things should be paid for. It's my opinion that music should not be free. And my prediction is that individual artists and their labels will someday decide what an album's price point is. I hope they don't underestimate themselves or undervalue their art. Kareem R. Lakhani and Marco Ianciti, business administration professors at Harvard Business School, reviewed the issue and upheld Swift's belief that musicians should set the prices. For academic Jessica Searle, Swift proposed music as a non-public good. Nilay Patel, writing for Vox, criticized Swift's beliefs about albums and said she doesn't understand supply and demand. Patel stated that the internet has killed the album format, claiming most consumers would not shop for a Swift CD anymore. Eventually, Swift withdrew her entire discography from Spotify, prompting it to say, "We hope she'll change her mind and join us in building a new music economy that works for everyone." 1989 was a commercial success upon release. And another Vox journalist, Constance Grady, regarded this a major blow for Spotify, which attempted to bring Swift back by releasing playlists dedicated to Swift. Her music stayed off Spotify for nearly 3 years, until Swift released it back on June 9, 2017. In celebration of Swift's milestone 100 million certified units from the Recording Industry Association of America. Spotify CEO Daniel Ek stated on CBS This Morning that he convinced Swift to bring her music back on Spotify by meeting her in Nashville, explaining the model, why streaming mattered, and how her fans want her music back on Spotify. In June 2015, Swift wrote an open letter to Apple Inc. on Tumblr, addressing the 3-month free trial that Apple Music had chosen to offer their users while not paying the artists whose catalogs are streamed by users during the trial period. Swift said she finds it shocking that they had opted not to pay writers, producers, or artists for the 3 months. She explained, "This is not about me. This is about the new artist or band that has just released their first single and will not be paid for its success. This is about the young songwriter who just got his or her first cut and thought that the royalties from that would get them out of debt. This is about the producer who works tirelessly to innovate and create. Just like the innovators and creators at Apple are pioneering in their field, but will not get paid for a quarter of a year's worth of plays on his or her songs. 3 months is a long time to go unpaid, and it is unfair to ask anyone to work for nothing. We don't ask you for free iPhones. Please don't ask us to provide you with our music for no compensation." Swift asserted 1989 would not be on Apple Music either and urged the company to change the policy before its launch on June 30, 2015. Eddie Q, an Apple executive, apologized and promised to reverse the policy. Q told Associated Press, "When I woke up this morning and I saw Taylor's note that she had written, it solidified that we needed to make a change. When Apple Music officially launched, it paid royalties to artists during the 3-month trial. Various musicians, music organizations and industry commentators expressed their gratitude to Swift following the expiration of her 6-album Big Machine contract in 2018. Swift signed a new global contract with Republic Records, a label owned by Universal Music Group. She revealed that, as part of the contract, any sale of Universal's shares in Spotify would result in non-recoupable equity shares for all Universal artists. Grady called it a huge promise from Universal, far from assured, until Swift interceded. Financial Times' Jamie Powell said, "Swift, on her own, is as powerful as an entire union," and dubbed the equity negotiation, "Comrade Swift's special dividend." Yang opined that it demonstrated the full weight of Swift's power. in an unprecedented move that seals her status as a kind of Joan of Arc for creator rights. In 2023, American businessman Elon Musk asked Swift to release her music or concert videos directly to Twitter, highlighting the pleas of Eck, Q, and Musk. Fast Company opined Swift is, arguably, the most powerful person in tech. Swift's battle against exploitative recording contracts for the ownership of her masters has been described as revolutionary. In June 2019, after Swift moved to Republic Records, Braun acquired Big Machine for $330 million, making him the owner of all the Big Machine masters, including those of Swift's first 6 studio albums. Swift responded she attempted to purchase the masters but was offered unfavorable conditions, while Borchetta claimed she declined a chance to purchase them. Swift alleged the label blocked her from performing her music at the 2019 American Music Awards, and claimed Borchetta and Braun were exercising tyrannical control over her. Big Machine then released Live from Clear Channel Strip 2008-2020, an unreleased live album by Swift, without due diligence. The controversy was highly publicized, becoming one of the most widely discussed and covered news topics of 2020 and 2021. Evening Standard called it music's biggest feud. Re-recording the albums was the only viable option to gain full ownership of her music, as per Swift. Braun sold the masters in October 2020 to Shamrock Holdings for $405 million under the condition he would continue profiting. Swift disapproved again, rejected a Shamrock offer for equity partnership, and began releasing the re-recordings via Republic. The re-recorded albums were met with critical and commercial success, breaking multiple commercial records. When All Too Well, 10-minute version, became the longest song ever to top the Hot 100. Jack Antonoff, the song's producer and a frequent collaborator of Swift, told Rolling Stone that a 10-minute-long song topping the Hot 100 teaches artists to not listen to what the industry has to say. Numerous music artists, politicians, journalists and legal experts supported Swift's actions regarding the issue, deeming it trailblazing and inspirational. Publications observed, while the issue of master ownership and conflicts between labels and artists such as Prince, the Beatles, Janet Jackson, and Def Leppard have been prevalent earlier, Swift was one of the few to make it a public discourse on artists' rights, private equity and industry ethics, dubbing the dispute one of the 50 most important moments of the 2010s decade. Rolling Stone journalists noted Swift's role in shifting the public perception of the concept of re-recording or remastering. Dominic Rush of The Guardian said Swift's battle marked a change in the digital music era, with artists more aware of their rights without the need to rely on record labels anymore. Pitchfork critic Sam Sodomsky recognized the visibility she brought, saying Swift can enact change by wielding the leverage of the reliability of her success, and that it is financially lucrative for the industry to listen when she speaks. Unlike most artists, when faced with this kind of injustice, Swift could stand up for herself, and in doing so, invoke meaningful dialogue and inspire change within the notoriously slow-moving music industry. Re-recording a back catalogue of 6 full albums and respective secret bonus tracks, then developing a hugely successful campaign to drive loyal fans towards the new versions of their beloved albums, and away from the original master recordings, prompting a dip in streams that will be mimicked in the rights holder's income statement, is something only very, very few artists can do. Taylor Swift is, indeed, amongst that handful. The AV Club and MarketWatch interpreted Swift's statements as a criticism of private equity, highlighting the Carlyle Group, one of Braun's investors, $338 US. Congress members like Elizabeth Warren and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez backed Swift and stated that she is one of many creative businesses threatened by private equity firms that harm the U.S. economy. Music attorney James Samataro observed that, any time Taylor brings attention to an issue, it gets magnified. She has a very loud megaphone and she's not afraid to use it. She's had great success in effectuating change. Billboard declared the outcomes of the re-recording venture unprecedented. Kornhaber opined that the re-recordings disproved critics who doubted Swift. This was the video. Next time we will continue about the cultural impact of Taylor Swift. Don't forget to subscribe. Until next time. Bye.